So now the police wants to know who the people that did this are, and they want to get pictures of us. Whatever happens to us is in the hands of the police. Why are we going to the police station? In my head I'm like, okay, Nigeria, here I come, I'm ready, like I'm leaving. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, hi, my name is Sarah. I hope you like it here and I hope you subscribe. We're trying to get to 50k, so please subscribe to my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Moving on, today's video is going to be a story time, and it's going to be a really interesting story. But before we get into that, I'm just going to tell you guys about this hair. This video is a partnership with Celie hair. This is their kinky straight hair. I had this hair on in my vision boards and like goals for this year video I made in January, and in that video this hair was straight, but then for this one I decided to switch it up. This is also the hair I had in like my worst rated makeup artist. Yes, I revamped the hair to this. I decided to curl it again. This hair is very similar to like the afro texture hair, so that's why I like it. I'm going to leave all the details for this hair in the description bar below. You can style it to whatever style you want. As you can see, it's curly now, but then in like all my other videos I had it straight. If you like this hair, make sure you check out the information in the description box below. Moving on to my story time. I don't know where to start from with this story, but then yesterday my mom, my sister and I were just talking about this, and I was literally laughing. We were all laughing at me, but then at that time it wasn't funny, but then we were laughing about it, but really at that time it wasn't funny. So I'm going to be telling you guys of the time that the police was after me in China. So if you want to hear about this story, just grab your popcorn, get comfortable, your tea, your coffee, whatever it is, just get something to munch on while you enjoy the story time. This happened about a year ago. You guys know I've been doing YouTube for about 3 years now. I normally do like collaborations with brands, and I do like sponsorships and all of that, but then at this time I was still a small YouTuber and I had about 1,000 subscribers. So I was talking with this brand and they're like, hey, we love your YouTube channel, would love to have a video on your channel. At this time I was a really small YouTuber, so I was really excited. Like that time when I get sponsorships, I'm like, I'm happy. Like even if you're not paying me, like as far as you're giving me something free, I just used to be happy. So I was like, sure, no problem, like I would love to work with your brand and everything. They're like, okay, so we'd love to send you our product. I'm just going to give everybody fake names. So for this brand, we're just going to call it brand. So this brand is like, okay, send us your address and we're going to send you this item. And then I send them my address, and then the representative that's talking to me is like, oh my god, you live in China, that's so amazing, our brand is also in China. I knew they were in China, but then I was just acting, you know, I was like, oh wow, you're in China, I didn't know that. So after I promoted the products for them, the representative was like, love this video and would love to have you come over. So I was like, I would love to come over, but then I'm in school and everything. And she's like, yeah, when you're on holiday you could come over and just check around, would love you to, you know, create some content for us and all of that. And I'm like, sure, that would be cool. She's like, I should tell her when I have time so I could come around and visit and all of that. Take note, at this time my auntie was coming to China, but then she was going to Guangzhou, and Guangzhou is very close to the city that these people were. So I was like, do you know what, like before I go and meet my auntie, maybe I could just go there and just see what these people have and just hear what they have to say. Who knows, maybe I could get a gig from here, and you know, and then from there I'll just go and meet my auntie. I traveled, I went to the city, everything was good. I saw what they had, I spoke to them, and you know what, like I felt like it was something I was going to enjoy doing, because they're like, oh, they wanted me to create content for them, like just the way I do on my YouTube channel. So it's almost like doing something you love and getting paid for it, which is like a bonus. So I was like, sure, no problem. So I just did all of that, and they gave me a really nice place to stay. Everything was just going good, you guys. So it was like, okay, this story time might be long. I'm just looking at the time, but you guys should just sit back and enjoy. I was there for about 3 days and I saw what they had. In this place I had somewhere to stay on my own, and like I could create content like you guys, if you're a YouTuber, you probably know the only thing that is in your head is just creating. So I could create content. I had space to myself and everything, so everything was just cool. I was just enjoying it. And then all of a sudden, my school sends us a message that the police is coming and they're just coming to make sure everybody's in school, blah blah blah. So I was like, oh, I was scared. So I ended up not going to see my auntie. I just took the next flight to Shenyang. Like after that, I didn't bother going back there. I had school, of course, and everything. About 2 months went by and I was just chilling. I actually forgot about it even, and I was on holiday. And then this representative hits me up and she's like, would you love to come around again? At this point, I wasn't really sure about how I felt. Like I wasn't doing anything that holiday, but then like I just didn't want to go. So like I didn't answer her. I just left the message. But then after like a week, the days were just going by, and you know, like I was doing my YouTube at that time, but then I wasn't really earning from YouTube. I was just doing YouTube because I loved YouTube. But then in my head I was like, you could go to this place and do what you love and, you know, get paid from it, because they were going to pay me. I just thought about it and I was like, you know what, I think I should just go. And then I went. So I went to this city and I was there. Like it was actually a very okay job. I was living in a house. It was a 4-bedroom house, but then I was alone. I had a kitchen and everything. They gave me somewhere to stay. Like I was quite comfortable in this place. Then I would normally go there in the morning and I'll create content for them. I had my break time. Then in the afternoon, time was going by. I did that job for 2 weeks. It was very lonely because like I was living alone, but then it was okay at the same time. The representative that was like in charge of me then tells me, she's like, hi Sarah, there are 3 more girls that are going to be coming to join you. Don't worry, you're not going to be doing the same thing with you. You're going to be doing something different and they're going to be doing something different, so don't worry, but you guys are going to be staying in the same place. It was okay. It was like, oh okay, no problem, people are coming, at least I won't be so lonely. Well, about 3 days later they came, and when they came, like everything was good. We were all black girls. We were from different countries, but then we're all black girls, and we're all from Africa, but all from different countries. So we're 4. So now this is where the main story starts. Normally, let me tell you guys, I start work in the morning and then I have my break from 12 to 1. You guys know how, if you live in China, you know the time of the break. I can't really remember. I think break is like from 11 to 1 or 11:30 to 1. I can't remember. So normally there's break time, but then this city was a really small city, so most times I didn't used to go for break. Once the day is over, I'll just leave. So that's how it was. And because I was alone and this was a very small city, which I never saw any black person, I didn't want a lot of attention. So I got this road that was very secretive, so I always used to follow that place, and I barely had any attention on me. And it was about a 10-minute walk. So I'm going to give them names. I'm going to give them Jessica, Kate, and Cici. So Jessica, Kate, and Cici. Apparently Jessica had been here before and she knew some places around. She knew places to eat and all of that. First day I was still alone. Like I just used to be alone. I just used to do my thing on my own. Like I wasn't really hanging around them. First day they went for lunch. I didn't bother going for lunch. Like I just stayed because I always stay for lunch. On the second day still it was the same thing. Like I can live on junk, so I just used to eat the junk I had. And then like we started getting along, we started talking because we were living in the same house. We were all in different rooms, but then we were living in the same house, so of course we started talking. So on this fateful day, which was like a day after we started talking, we all went to work together. So I didn't follow the road I would normally follow, which is like my secretive road and everything. I didn't follow that road, and we just followed the normal gate and everything, and then we went to work. During the break time, I told you guys I don't normally go for the break. It was break time and going somewhere to eat. I had never eaten anywhere. Like I've never eaten out ever since I went to this city. I knew somewhere to eat, so I was like, you know what, let me follow them. So we all went to eat together. So Cici and Kate left, then it was just Jessica and I. So Jessica and I were still behind. We were waiting to collect the takeaway packs for the food. Cici and Kate used like the main gate to enter the building. Saw them with like 2 security men. All of a sudden they come and meet us and they're like, I think we're in trouble. They're like, these guys are asking for where we live. Why are they asking for where we live? So they were speaking in Chinese and they were like, where'd you guys live? Where'd you guys live? Show us your building. We refused to show them our building. And then we just started walking, and all of a sudden these guys started following us. So they were following us. So we entered okay, let's say we live in building 2, we entered building 1, and then they were like, oh, so you're in building 1, what floor are you in? We just called a random floor and they left. We were really scared because, like, first of all, if you don't know, working in China with a student visa is not allowed. It's not allowed. Of course, a lot of people do it and they get away with it, but then it's not allowed. When this happened, like, we were all scared, we were panicking. We went to our boss's house. We told her, we're like, oh, these security men were following us and they were asking where we live. We told her, like, please, you should help us, like, we don't want to get into any form of trouble. Then she's like, oh, don't worry, you're not in trouble, blah blah blah, everything. So we went to meet she took us to the security men and she was like, hi, these are my friends, they just came to China and they just came to visit, blah blah blah. And they're like, oh, okay, no problem. Once we were done with work, we were going back home. So when we were going back home, this time around, I didn't follow them again. I was like, you know what, like, I was really scared, so I followed my, like, secretive road. I just followed that way, and they went to get dinner. They asked me if I was going to have dinner. I was like, no, I don't want to have dinner. I went home and I was sleeping, and they went to have dinner. And all of a sudden, I just heard they entered the house. They're like, oh, when they were coming back, these same security men were following them and they were trying to take a picture of them. But apparently, Sisi collected the phone of the security man and she deleted the pictures he took of them. All of them have had experiences working in China before and they know how not safe this is. But then me, this was my first time ever. Like, I've never worked in China, I've never had an experience like this, and to me, honestly, this wasn't like working, because I felt like I was just doing something I love. It wasn't like I applied for a job and I wanted to do a job and everything. So everything was just scary to me. Like, I didn't know what was happening. And Sisi was like, do you know what, we have to leave this city, we have to leave this city. Why do they want to take pictures of us? This is not safe. And then we called the boss and she's like, oh, don't worry, no problem, you're safe, you're going to be safe and everything. And then next thing, she calls us and she's like, oh, we didn't register you in this apartment. This apartment is registered with our company, but then they are saying foreign girls, so they're not sure. The police is going to come to your apartment and just take pictures of you just so we can register you here. They were in China longer than I was. They were in China for like 3 years already before me. So it was like, no pictures, no pictures. They don't want anything that has to do with taking pictures of us. And now, for the fact that they heard the police, it was like, girl, no. We're all panicking. Everybody's just saying stories of how this might be a trap. Maybe they have caught us and they found out we're working. My boss then comes to the house and she's like, she spoke to the security man, and apparently somebody collected phones of the security guard and deleted the pictures. So they were very angry and they were like, that's very disrespectful. So they took the case to the police. This wasn't good. So now the police wants to know who the people that did this are, and they want to get pictures of us because they didn't register us in their city. You guys, we were so scared. Everything was just happening fast. We were scared. Everybody was panicking. I called my mom. I was panicking. Sisi is like, you know what, you guys, we have to leave now. This is a trap. And this is like a warning. We just need to leave now. And then my boss leaves at this point. Jessica is like, she knows a hotel that accepts foreigners, so let's go to that hotel. The next morning, we didn't go to work. So my boss is like, where are we? Why aren't we at work? They went to the apartment and we're not there. Why did we leave? And we were like, we left because we're so scared, and we're leaving to our city. We're leaving back to our city today. We don't want any trouble. And she's like, they already saw us leaving. They saw us leaving with cameras. And she's like, if we leave the city right now, whatever happens to us is in the hands of the police. Like, they don't have any business with whatever happens to us. But then if we want to be safe, we should tell them where we are. Like, we were hesitant to tell them the exact hotel that we were because we were really scared. And then she's like, tell us where you are, we're going to save you. This is a very small city and we are going to help you. And then finally we told her where we were. All of them came, like all the people we were working with, or rather most of them came. And then next thing, they're like, oh, we need to go to the police station, all of us. What? Why are we going to the police station? Oh my god. And they're like, oh, if we leave the city now, they're going to be very angry because they just want to see us and they want to know what we're doing here. So if we decide to leave that city now, they already saw us in cameras, and they're going to use the cameras to track the exact place we followed, and whatever happens to us is in the hands of the police. Every one of us cried, like we all cried, because it was such a scary moment for the fact that, and they said the head of police was the person that wanted to see us. We all thought we were going back home because working in China is illegal. Like, it was so scary. Me, I didn't cry in open. I only cried when I was talking to my boyfriend because I was so scared. Hey! So we all agreed that, okay, we are going to go and meet the police and apologize, because they said that they just want us to apologize for collecting the phone of the policeman and deleting, and also to apologize for the fact that we didn't register ourselves in that apartment. Okay, no problem. But then Sissy is like, she's not going anywhere. Are we blind? This is a trap. Like, Sissy was panicking so much. We kept on telling her to calm down. Like, it was almost like she was going crazy. We were trying to cheer her up, we're trying to calm her down. Like, she refused to hear. She said she wasn't going anywhere, but they gave us till 4 p.m. It was past 4 p.m. and she still said she wasn't going. Our employers kept on telling us we shouldn't worry, they have everything in control. This is a very small city, and their boss is a really big man, so we are protected. We shouldn't worry. If it's a fine, they're going to pay it. We're going to be safe. The next day they said all of us should go back to the apartments, and the police was coming to meet us. You guys, I don't think I've ever prayed as much as I did that day. So we went to the apartment, we're all sitting there. About 3 of the people that were working in the same company as us were there. These policemen walked in, and they were like, I think there were like 5 policemen. I made videos. I don't know how I made videos, but then I'll try and insert a video there. They were all in their uniforms. They were looking serious. At this point, I was scared as hell. They were all speaking Chinese, and then the boss of them all, he entered and he was looking so angry. So they got an English teacher to interpret while they talked to us, and then she asked us for our names. What are our names? We told her our names. She asked for our schools. We told her our schools, and then next thing they're like, oh, they want to see our passports. Meanwhile, what our employers told them is that we're just friends that are visiting, so we just came to visit. I feel like foreigners in China and the police are just enemies. Like, they're just enemies. I don't know how to explain how scared we were, but then we were so scared. I was very scared. They kept on asking us questions like, what are we doing there? When did we come? They're like, oh, they asked us how old we were. I was the youngest there. I was the youngest out of all of them, but then I was the one that had stayed the longest in the city. Hey God. And then next thing they're like, they want our passports. You guys, once they ask for your passports, it's like trouble. It's like, no, it's like you're gone. At this point, it was in my head, I'm like, okay, Nigeria, here I come, I'm ready, like, I'm leaving. While they were asking us all these questions, apart from like your name, your age, your school, you answer for yourself, but then everything else, like, I was just letting other people answer, because like I was so scared, and I knew that my voice was going to be shaky. My voice was shaky. I was very, very scared, so I wasn't even opening my mouth to answer anything because I was panicking. And then the main question, this woman is like, you answer it. She's like, do you know that working in China is illegal? I was like, we weren't working. We didn't come here to work. We weren't working. And she's like, I asked you a question. Do you know that working in China is illegal? And then I was like, yes, I know that it's illegal. She's like, so why are you guys working? We're like, no, we're not working. We didn't come here to work. Blah, blah, blah. We're not working. And then she's like, oh, okay, no problem, blah, blah, blah. And then she speaks Chinese to them and everything. And then my boss understands English, and we had this group chat that we were texting and just trying to calm each other down and just try and get information. But you guys, this thing was so scary. And they looked at our passports and everything, and then they told us that they're giving us 24 hours to leave this city, and they don't want us to come back to their city again. So like, even after this, apparently they had to pay a fine. I don't know how much the fine was, but apparently they had to pay a fine to the police for having us around illegally. And then like, they bought tickets for all of us. You guys, do you know that these people still had the mind to ask us like, do you still want to stay? Don't worry, we can keep you low-key, they won't know you're around. I'm like, what? We were like, no, we're not staying, we're going. Like, it was so scary. And I don't even know how I came out of that situation, because those were the worst 3 days of my life. I made it very short, but then if I'm to go into details, like, it was crazy, it was scary. Moral lesson is that if you're in China, don't work. It was so scary for me, because this was my first time ever having an experience with the police or anything like this. But then all these other girls, like, they had worked in China before, but then this was my first time, and like I just had bad luck with it. So everything was just crazy, everything was just happening at the same time. I was so scared, and but then I got out of it and I'm here today. I'm alive, thank you Jesus. Until we got to our cities, because 3 of us were from the same city, but then one other girl, the last city was from a different city. We were all still scared, like we were very scared. We were not sure. Everything was in our head. In our head, it was like maybe the police are waiting for us in Shenyang airport, or maybe they are looking for us in the city's airport. And yeah, on the last day we actually had mad fun. Like after the police released us, we went out, we went to eat, we went around the city, like we were walking around the city, we were strolling, we weren't even scared. Like anytime we see the police, it was like, oh yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If I get work, will I do? Of course. But then like just be careful, like if you're doing anything that has to do with working. I feel like, I know that in some cities it's like okay for them because like there aren't a lot of black people, so there are no eyes on you. But then in my city it's very hard, it's risky, it's dangerous because there are a lot of black people, and like people do it but then it's not allowed. But still, do people do it? Of course. But yeah, so if you're coming to China and you want to be a student and you still want to work, don't come to Shenyang. Like, do your research and find out cities that like you can work comfortably and school. So yeah, that's the end of my story. You guys, normally in other cases this would have been serious, like the police would have arrested other people, but then Jessica was talking to a friend and her friend kept on saying, don't worry, nothing's going to happen, you guys are girls, they're going to let you guys go. And you guys, my boyfriend was saying the same thing. He was like, you guys are girls, they're going to let you go, they're not going to do anything to you. If you guys were boys, maybe they'll take you seriously, but then you're girls, they're not going to do anything. But then still, that fear was still there. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this story. This is a story of how the police was after me in China. Let me know if you want more story times. I really hope I have more story times. But yeah, and this video was long, but thank you for sticking around to the end if you did. And make sure you comment on this video. Let me know what you think. Have you had a similar experience if you're in China or in another country? Like this video and share with your friends and your family. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.